There's a version of you walking around somewhere in the future who wakes up differently than you do right now. They don't reach for their phone first thing. They don't feel that quiet dread before the day even starts. They move through their life with a kind of calm certainty that you probably assumed was just personality. Something you either had or didn't. But here's what nobody told you. That version of you isn't the result of one massive life decision. It wasn't born from a single turning point or a dramatic awakening. It was built in the small, invisible spaces between your days. The moments you thought didn't count. And what you're about to understand in the next few minutes isn't a list of tips. It's how your brain has been silently constructing who you are without your permission, and how 5 tiny shifts can start rewriting that code starting today. We have this belief deeply embedded in us that life is shaped by the big moments, the decision to change careers, the relationship that breaks you open, the rock bottom that forces everything to shift. And yes, those moments matter, but they don't build your life. Your life is built by what you do at 7 a.m. when no one is watching, by what you reach for when you're tired and overwhelmed and the resistance is highest, by the pattern you repeat so automatically that it no longer feels like a choice. James Clear called them votes. Every time you act, you are casting a vote for the type of person you believe yourself to be, not what you say you are. What you demonstrate, you are. And here's the uncomfortable part. Most of us are voting for someone we don't want to be, not out of laziness, not out of weakness, but because we never understood that the vote was happening. Your brain doesn't distinguish between meaningful rituals and mindless patterns. It simply watches what you do repeatedly and begins to treat it as identity. When you scroll for 40 minutes every morning, your brain files a report. This is who we are. When you skip the thing you said mattered, again, your brain files another. This is who we are. But it works the other way too. And that's where everything changes. Habit 1. The 2-minute anchor. The reason most people never build habits isn't motivation. It's that they misunderstand what a habit is. A habit isn't a task you add to your day. It's a neural pathway your brain learns to automate. And neural pathways aren't built through intensity. They're built through repetition. This is why the 2-minute version of something matters more than you think. Not a 2-hour workout, 2 minutes of movement, not a full journal entry, 2 minutes of writing one honest sentence. The behavior doesn't need to be impressive. It needs to be repeated. Because the first thing your brain is learning isn't the skill. It's the pattern of showing up. Before you try to build a habit you're proud of, build the habit of beginning. Habit 2, the identity shift. Here's the psychological mechanism most self-improvement misses entirely. We try to change behavior before we change belief. We say, I'm trying to become someone who exercises, and the word trying is doing enormous damage. It signals to your brain that this is a negotiation, something you might do or might not, depending on the day. Language isn't just description, it's instruction. The moment you shift from I'm trying to read more to I'm someone who reads, something changes underneath the conscious mind. Decisions that were heavy become lighter, because they're no longer decisions about what to do. They're decisions about who to be. Pick one identity. 1. And begin speaking it before you've earned it. Your brain listens to what you repeatedly show it and what you repeatedly tell it. Habit 3. The friction audit. Every habit you're failing to build has invisible resistance around it, and every habit you're failing to break has invisible ease around it. This isn't a character flaw, it's engineering. Your environment is more powerful than your willpower on most days. So stop fighting your environment and start redesigning it. Want to read before bed? Put the book on your pillow and your phone in another room. Want to stop eating mindlessly? Don't battle the craving. Create distance from the source. Behavioral scientists call this reducing friction. But what it actually is, treating yourself like someone worth designing a life for. Your habits don't live in your mind. They live in your surroundings. Change the surroundings. Change the behavior. Habit 4, the recovery ritual. Here's something the productivity world almost never discusses. It's not the missed day that derails you. It's what you believe about yourself after the missed day. Research on habit formation shows that the most predictive variable isn't how often people succeed, it's how quickly they return after they fail. The people who build lasting habits don't have perfect streaks. They have short recoveries. You will miss days. That is not the question. The question is whether missing one day becomes a story about who you are, or just a Tuesday. Build a recovery ritual, something small and deliberate you do after you break the pattern. A single sentence written, a single minute moved, not to compensate, to signal to your brain, we haven't abandoned this. We're still here. The habit isn't broken when you miss a day. It's broken when you stop coming back. Habit 5. The evening reflection. Your brain does its deepest consolidation at night. Everything you experienced, everything you attempted, gets processed and integrated while you sleep. This is not a metaphor. It's neuroscience. Sleep is when procedural memory is strengthened, when emotional weight gets sorted, when identity is quietly reinforced. Which means the last 10 minutes before sleep are extraordinarily powerful. Not for optimization. Not for productivity metrics. For one question, asked honestly, who did I move toward being today? Not whether you were perfect, not whether you did everything, just did you move, even slightly? Did you vote even once for the person you're becoming? Some nights the answer will be yes. Some nights you'll sit with the discomfort of no. Both are useful. Both are part of it. The reflection isn't a judgment, it's a compass check. Your habits don't live in your mind, they live in your surroundings. Change the surroundings. Change the behavior. 21 days from now, you will not be a different person. You will not have shed your old patterns like a skin. You will not have arrived somewhere clean and new and free from the friction of being human. But here is what 21 days of this will do. It will create evidence. Real, undeniable, accumulated evidence stored in your nervous system, written into your daily architecture, that you are someone who shows up for themselves. Not perfectly, not consistently enough to impress anyone, but genuinely, repeatedly, honestly. And evidence, over time, becomes belief. And belief held long enough becomes identity. And identity, not motivation, not willpower, not inspiration, is what actually changes a life. The next 21 days are not about becoming perfect. They are about becoming someone new, someone who doesn't need the conditions to be right, someone who doesn't wait to feel ready, someone who understands in their bones that the life they want is not waiting for them in some distant future. It's being built right now, in the small choices, in the moments no one sees. So here's your challenge. Pick one habit from this video, just one. Tonight, not tomorrow, not Monday, not when things calm down. Do the 2-minute version of it. That's it. That's the whole challenge, because the person you're becoming doesn't start when the circumstances are better. They start when you decide they do.